Just cooling down from today's run. A lot said about recovery, how to recover, what's the best way to recover, and how to actually absorb the training that you've been doing. Well, the first protocol to do to absorb it and to recover from a workout is to cool down from your training, from your workout. So I'm really slowing it down now, coming to the end of my workout. I'll put in a little walk here. Just done zone 2 speed workout, right? I know that don't make sense because you're thinking zone 2 and speed, okay, they don't go together very well, and that's true, they don't go together very well, but incorporating them across a whole workout, full workout, that's the way to do it. And I'll explain how and why when I get back home and I show you the data of what's gone on in the workout. But yeah, recovery. So your recovery starts at the end of your workout, right? Don't just go out, smash it, finish in a heap, back at your front door, okay? That's not the way to do it. Your results are really going to suffer doing that. You stand a chance of getting injured more often, and you're just not going to get the benefit from your workouts that you want. Like I say, absorb your training. So after you've done every workout, you should always do a cool down, and your cool down needs to be enough so that it brings your heart rate all the way down, back to recovery. Right, yeah, so as I was saying out there, then your recovery starts as your run or your bike or whatever activity it is that you're doing begins to end. So for a better recovery, always make sure that you cool down properly, you get your heart rate back down. Moving on then to a zone 2 speed workout. Yep, it is a thing. Zone 2 and speed do go together. So the majority of my workout today was nice and light. It was just an easy run around the block, but I added in some speed just to mix it up a bit. Now, as I've said in a previous video, if you're not up to knowing what zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, if you're not interested in zones, okay, it's just low intensity and high intensity. That's all you really need to focus on. So zone 2 is just low intensity. And then when I talk about zone 5, that's just high intensity. So they're really the only two things you kind of need to focus on. If you're not doing low intensity and high intensity, they're both the extremes in your workouts, then you really are missing out. If you're just focusing on the middle ground there, then you're not getting out of yourself the potential that you've got. Anyway, I'll put some stats on screen now of the run from today. But what it was, as you can see, is mostly low intensity. Heart rate was under control, wasn't going off any numbers, wasn't looking at my watch, just making sure I was running at a nice low intensity, conversational pace. You know, I could easily hold a conversation. I wasn't short of breath, anything like that. That was the majority of the run. And then I split it up into 2 hard miles. But in between those miles, also made sure that I brought my heart rate back down. So it was zone 2 with some really hard intensity in the middle. So it was zone 2/zone 5. Now you could call it an interval workout, which is basically what it was, an interval workout. But you're still focusing on getting the best out of it, which is strength and speed. So putting a workout like this into your regime also builds your strength and your speed. So it's, you know, it needs putting in there. It's a bang for your buck workout, a great interval workout. Make sure that you always, in between each interval, always fully recover. They're the key parts to any interval workout, is always make sure that you fully recover in the intervals in between the hard intensity. If you're not recovered, your hard intensity is not going to be hard enough, and you're not going to reap the benefits. Always make sure that you fully recover, get your heart rate back down, be ready for your next interval.